So what are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about a couple of things, right? We're talking about the value that we show sitting in front of clients and why it's so important for new agents to go set those appointments. Not for the train, I mean, yes, for the training value, right? But mostly, guys, for you to see when you put one of your field trainers, VPs, whomever it is, in front of a client, and we discover something that they didn't even know was wrong, right? In a lot of cases, people are paying way too much for life insurance because they've got whole life. They were told they can borrow against it. They're going to be their own bank. Whatever the sales tactic was to get them to do that and move forward on that product, but nobody ever told them what it was like really designed to do, which was make the bank and the financial institution money. It's not really about protecting that family. I'm going to cover that tonight with a real like exact like example from this weekend, like legitimate true client, real policy, right? No client information is there. We got rid of all that, but like legit policy. I'm going to show you guys what's in some of those and why it's important to get in front of people. I'm going to tell you about another example. Sat down with someone's, siblings, right? Actual siblings and in-laws. And then, I mean, people in their mid to late 40s that have never had an education in money and finance. I'm kind of just talk about some of that. And then at the end of the night, I'll answer any questions you guys have, but really like relating that to then the power that it showed those agents that we sat on those appointments with, and then why it matters for your bonus, right? And we'll play the calculator game. All right. If you guys have any questions, my my best friend, Miss Wendy Burtnick, is co-hosting. She's going to be monitoring the chats and kind of keep me honest, because I'll be completely honest, I get distracted. I'm not good at monitoring the chat. So know your weaknesses, right? Phone a friend and make sure you have somebody that's got your back. So that's going to be Miss Wendy. She'll take care of me. And if you ever get unmuted, just please go back and mute yourself. Otherwise, Wendy's going to go in and mute you anyway. And so here we go, right? And if you've got questions, please ask. And if I'm going too fast or too slow, you let me know. But I'm going to hit a screen share really quick and we'll kind of get going on this, guys, because I really want you to understand what it is for us that we do. Where in the world? What? Hold on. God bless. I have no idea what just happened. Hang on. Hang on. The whole Zoom went crazy. So let me just do it this way. Let me do it this way, and then I'll hit the screen share. All right. So guys, listen, at the end of the day, we just do what's right. No matter what, right? This company was built on doing what's right for middle income families. We're a Wall Street company. We're publicly traded, yes, but we work for Main Street families. And what does that mean? That means everybody's a client, right? Everybody's a client. From the person that's investing $25 a month in their Roth, just getting started, learning how to pay themselves first, to clients that are rolling over $250,000, $2.5 million. It doesn't matter, guys. We are here to serve everybody. All right. But really what we're about is buying term and investing, because buying term and investing beats a whole life policy every day and twice on Sunday. Okay. So here's the client that we helped this weekend. And guess what? It was an agent's husband. They had just gotten coverage. They thought they were doing the right thing, right? And so here it is. He's 30. He's young. He's super healthy. Just like everybody else that takes out a life insurance policy with whole life, guys, they don't know the difference. They think they're doing the right thing, right? He thought he was saving for the future. Turns out, though, he's just paying a bunch of money. So look, trash value policy, guys, $132 a month. And I really like this one for training. And I asked for permission. She said yes, right? I really like this one for training because there's a lot built into this policy that you don't usually see. Look at all this madness down here, right? Look, there's a whole life. Then there's crazy little attachments to that. Then there's an accidental death and dismemberment, waiver premium, terminal illness on all that. Then there's, oh, look, they sneak in term policies into this to make it sound like they have more life insurance. All right. then a whole bunch of other small tiny fees that get wrapped in for a bunch of different things. It's a big old nasty mess. Look at the AP on this, guys. 1574, right? So about 132 bucks a month. 1574. Total coverage, like if you looked at this, you don't even know. You have no idea what's even in here. But it's about 208,000. There's 30,000 in a whole life, and then like 178 in a whole bunch of like crazy term policies. All right. And so the piece of this that I hate the most is the fact that the client actually thought they had $400,000 in life insurance. Now, if I asked you why they thought they had $400,000 in life insurance, what would you say? Right? It's because I'll fast forward. There we go. Look, do you see that big yellow box down there that says accidental death and dismemberment? This is what they do, guys, right? Like they say, hey, you've actually got about $400,000 in life insurance. You're doing a great job. It's only 130 bucks a month. Congratulations. Good job. Well, in reality, they've only got about 208,000 in an actual death benefit, because unless you die, on a Sunday in the rain and lose 3 legs and 47 teeth, that ADD policy is probably not going to pay out. Now, obviously that's an exaggeration, but you get my point, right? True story. Client was in a car accident, like almost died at the scene. They got him to the hospital, died 3-4 hours later. Had a $500,000 in an accidental death and dismemberment policy, which did not pay out because he didn't die in the accident. He died at the hospital. Right? So all these people that tell you they have XYZ in terms of coverage, like, no, especially if it's an ADD policy, like from a credit union and they're paying like $3 a month. Guys, that's like a fee disguised as a product. It's gross, right? So look, in terms of whole life, he had $30,000, right? $30,000 in whole life. He's paying over 500 bucks a month for that joker. Let's just look at some of the years and how these break down, because this is just about every single policy, right? And so look, end of policy year 20, he's been paying this thing for 20 years. He's got less than $5,000 in cash value. That's ridiculous, right? At age 60, $9,000. At 65, 11. At age 70, he's ready to retire. He's got $14,000 in cash value that he has to borrow to get, or he has to surrender the policy. Guys, this is crazy.
Well, I just can't believe they're just now announcing it. Have they?
Me neither. I can't believe that either, right? That's just wild. But look, guys, this is no kidding. Like when I say this is trash value insurance, this is trash value. There's no way around it, right? And oh, by the way, the renewals are insane. And you say, no, what do you mean? What renewals? This is whole life. Remember all the crap that they've built into this thing? Look at all this junk. Watch this. Let's see what the renewals are. If it'll ever move. No, I'm not going to use this stupid thing anymore. Look at this. Remind you, he's 30, right? So he goes to renew the term. The term is like 170,000, right? He's going to go renew the term. Guys, when we renew a term, well, first of all, he's 30, so I can give him a policy that takes him to 65, right? So doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, it's off the chart. Our policy is so long and level that it's off of this renewal chart in the first place. But look at this. He's 60. Do you really think at 60 he's going to want to pay $4,000 annual premium for like 170 some odd thousand in coverage? Is he ever going to pay it? Put it in the Zoom chat. Is he ever freaking going to pay it? No way. You know he's not going to pay that. But look at this. So think about this. Guys, this is where you have to start with the client. You have to start asking questions, right? So Mr. and Mrs. Client, did you know this was even in your policy? They're going to say, no, they didn't explain it. Perfect. So if I could show you something, right? If I could show you something that would take you all the way past this for another 5 years and the price would never change, is that something that you would be open to taking a look at? Well, yeah, like that's ridiculous. I agree. So check this out. Look, Here's what we did. So instead of trash value, guys, we're going to buy term. So look at, and I even used his entire whole life and the actual term that was in it. So we got him about 2.5 times the coverage, went to $500,000 with waiver of premium because his other policy had all the other stuff already in it. Look, now he's got a $350,000 living benefit, 70% of 500 grand, right? 35 years level, increasing benefit rider. So with the increasing benefit rider in 10 years, he's going to have another $500,000, which stays the same price for the next 10 years. They're having a baby. Baby in 20 years will be 19, 20. So guys, over the course of that child's 10 to 19 years of age, the client's going to have $1 million in coverage, and it hasn't issued yet, but I would bet a couple bucks that the second $500,000 on the benefit rider is going to be cheaper than the first $500,000, because I've seen a thing or two. That's how it works. So if I could guarantee you with no medical exam that in years 11 through 20 of your policy, you'd be eligible for another $500,000 in coverage, probably cheaper than this $500,000, and you don't even have to qualify for it medically if something's gone wrong. Is that something that would be valuable to you? It's sort of like inflation protection on your life insurance policy. Would that make sense? Yeah. Hell yeah. Yes, Andrea, it's automatically built in. If a client doesn't want the increasing benefit rider going into the second year of the policy, when you do the annual review with them, delete it. Yes, it starts after year 1. Guys, in the first, like in months 0 through 12, there is no increasing benefit rider. There's no cost because there's no benefit. You with me? Starting in month 13, essentially the beginning of year 2, at that point, the client gets an extra 10% of the face value of their policy. And then they pay a fractional cost of their original base cost for that. So like in this example, we'd give him an extra 50,000 and the price of his policy, this price would be the exact same. It never changes, level, but his monthly cost would go up because we're giving him more coverage. So he's got an extra 50,000. Maybe he pays an extra, I don't know, $7 a month. And it goes and it goes and it goes until you hit year 11. And now he's got a $500,000 in the original policy that's never going to change. And then an extra $500,000 in the increasing benefit rider that's going to be that same way for 10 years. Also not going to change. In year 21, the price on that extra 10-year or that extra benefit rider is going to balloon. It goes insane. You will delete that. You will never let a client keep that unless they're ridiculously unhealthy at that point and they're terminal. Then guess what? They can renew it and they don't need a medical check. They just got to pay the difference. You with me on this, guys? Do you see why we are so much better? Why we are so much better than every other company out there? And Danielle, you're exactly right. Guys, the increasing benefit rider gets added on. The client's not even going to talk about it, but you do need to communicate with that client because in their mind, everything is level. The price is never going to change. So if you don't talk to them and you don't communicate with your clients as you're going into the second year of these policies, their price is going to change and they're going to call you and be like, WTF, mate. You need to communicate that with them. They get a letter, it's mailed out, right? But you need to communicate with them. I will upload this video onto the band. Don't worry. I got you guys. Don't worry. So look, 1,000 AP. We saved this joker almost $600 a year, right? $48 a month. What did I do with it? You know what I did with it, guys. Come on. We opened him a friggin' Roth IRA. So we bought term and we invested. So look, we invest the difference. 30 to 65. All I used was the length of the term, right? Just $50 a month. He wanted to throw in the extra $2, right? $50 a month, 148,000 just in this. Like, guys, you would agree that he's probably going to want to invest more, right? But I wanted to show him what we do. So we bought term and we're going to invest the difference. So look at this, $148,000, right? Let me just click through these really quick. Look, 148,000 at age 65 versus 11,000. Where did I get the 11,000, you ask? Off of the original chart from his policy, from his whole life, because that's the only thing that was actually going to accumulate any value, you would agree, right? The other term was just term coverage, just like ours. But here's the big difference, guys. Even at 65, on the other policy, if the family, or if he would have died, the family would have had to choose between 30K in whole life and the 11K in the cash value. Which one do they want? Which one do they want? 30K all day, twice on Sunday. It's more. Guys, in the back of your mind, the answer is always more, right? I joke with clients, I say, look, stupidest question ever. You want more money, am I right? Of course you do. So if you want more money, who keeps the other side? And then they go, I don't know. I don't know. The bank, the insurance company, whoever you're paying every month for your whole life policy. Does that seem fair? And I nod my head like this. And they go, no, that's disgusting. He thought, like, yeah, John said it perfectly. I thought that was my money. I thought that was my cash. I thought I was being my own bank. And I say, yeah, that's what they tell you. And I say, Mr. and Mrs. Client, how many banks do you know with one client? And they go, none. I said, sounds like your bank won't be in business very long. Guys, this is what we do. So, like, I mean, I can show you examples of this like until the cows come home, right? It's endless. It's what we do. Literally, it's what we do. We buy term and invest the difference. But here's the thing. Let's go all the way to the beginning, right? Had we never recruited that agent, she would have never known what we do. But more importantly, she would have never known that her family was not protected and that they were essentially wasting money. Because, oh, by the way, we got her coverage. She legitimately only had like 30K in coverage. We got her $250,000. It was automatically approved. It was like $40, 44. So I'm no math magician, right? But over 8 times the coverage, and it was literally the same monthly price. I'll eat that one, right? We didn't have anything extra to invest. My bad. But for 35 years, she's got almost 9 times the coverage, and it's the same exact price. It makes way more sense. So guys, this is why you have to set appointments with clients for training. Because even at the end of the day, if I would have shown that same exact presentation to the client and explained everything to them about that policy and they would have not moved forward, I wouldn't have understood it. I probably would have been really mad at myself. But at the end of the day, it's the client's choice, right? Because are we here to sell people anything? I'll wait. Are we here to sell anything? Right? And so, guys, if we're not here to sell them anything, what are we here for? What are we doing? What do we sit down and do? Right? Educate. I like that one. I saw somebody put show value in there. Right? We show value. We show value and a client decides. Guys, it is our jobs to sit down with people and teach them and show them the things that the other people, whomever, like failed to do, whether deliberately or out of just, I don't know, lack of education, professionalism. Guys, you would agree that an educated client, an informed client is the best client. Yes or yes? Yeah. Guys, if you don't take the time to educate your clients about what we do and why we're so much better and show the value of what we actually provide, well, guess what? The next Tom, Dick, or you know what comes around and he shows them something for $6 less a month, they're going to switch if they don't understand the value of what you do. Which brings me to another point. If you only have one product with a client, you have at best a coin toss chance of keeping them as a client. Why? Because the next guy that comes along and shows them something for $6 cheaper and they go, I like cheaper, they're switching. Did you know that if you just have one extra product with a client, your retention rate jumps to like 80+%? One. And it doesn't matter which one. I would argue that you should probably help them get an investment, because if you're selling someone a term policy and you're not helping them invest some money as well alongside of that, you're legitimately worse than the whole life guy. And I hope that stings a whole lot of you, because if you just sell them term and 35 years from now, they have bupkis at the end. Well, hell, at least at the end of the other one, the dude would have had like 11 grand. You with me? Buy term and invest. You have to buy term and invest. But guys, if someone already has whole life, they already know the value of life insurance. Showing them a way to build more coverage and then invest and have the opportunity to receive both, God forbid they die, right? If we can't overcome that one, we need to go back to teachable and back to the drawing board, right? So here's another example from this weekend. We sat with a client. Sat down with a client, late 40s, and literally within 3 minutes, the client said, I'll be completely honest. I am ashamed admitting this, but I'm 47 and I don't know anything that we're probably about to talk about. I've been working my you know what off for 40 years, feels like, and I've missed it, right? Like I've heard people talk about investing in IRAs and mutual funds and all of this stuff and money markets, and I've always just sort of like gone along, but in the back of my mind knew that I didn't know anything and I'm not prepared. And I said, great. That's perfect. That's exactly why I'm here. Guys, I don't care what somebody tells me. It's amazing. Perfect. I love it. You always are affirming and answering and then closing. Even if it's not an objection. Guys, she was not like, that was not an objection. She was already on my side, right? Hey, perfect. Listen, you would agree that if you don't know anything and you feel like you need to know it, then me being here is right on time. Am I right? Absolutely. Guys, we talked about everything because he has like her husband had a policy from his credit union. It's like $100,000 in coverage. And I said, great, I love that you have something, right? But God forbid we lost you today. How long is that going to last your wife? And he said, 6 months. I don't know. I said, do you feel like maybe you're a little underinsured? And he said, oh my God, like drastically. I said, great. What I want to do is book a follow-up appointment. I want you to go get all those documents. And then when we get back together, we'll compare everything and I'll show you exactly in your policy what you have or don't have relative to what you thought. Sound good? Perfect. And then we proceeded to show him what they needed to have, because nobody ever did that. Guys, most of the time when somebody sells someone a whole life policy, they say, not how much coverage do you think you need? They say, hey, how much can you afford? And they usually say, I don't know, $100, $200. Great. Here's $113,000 in life insurance. It's a really weird number. Remember my guy that we just did the example for? He had 178,000 in a term policy and 30,000 in a whole life policy. Does that sound like they asked him what he could afford or how much coverage he needed? They asked him how much coverage he needed. And then they lied to him about what he actually had, right? And it's just, guys, it's gross. I mean, no, they asked him what he could afford, right? I'm guessing they probably said about $100 a month. And then they added on some weird little random things and they ended up at 130, like all that little crazy list of like additional things, right? All those little upsells or hidden fees and charges, whatever. Then it came out to like 130, but he was already locked in at that point. Just terrible, guys. It's nasty. And I think I saw it go by earlier. You can't even sell someone a whole life policy in Canada anymore. It's illegal. I would say we're probably a little bit behind because that's a pretty strong lobby industry, right? It just is. So here's the reason that we need to go set those appointments as new recruits. And as field trainers, you need to be helping your people get into their markets. One, because if you never help them get into their market and they get a license, are they ever going to know what to do with it? No. If they never see what we do, they never see you talk to a client. I mean, they might be very, very studious and jump on Teachable and figure it out. I'm not saying it's impossible. But if you never help them get into their market, does anyone around them know what the hell they do? They have no idea. And so if they don't know what they do, they know they got a license because they saw it on Facebook, maybe. But if they don't know what they do and they don't know the value, even though that person's got a license and they love them, do they have any credibility in terms of what they're offering? No. They're just some dude that got a license, or there's some gal that got a license. There's nothing. And John said it perfectly. If they don't know what they're doing, they can't send referrals. Guys, listen to me. It's a referral-based business, right? At the end of the day, we are helping a new agent get into their hot market, not to just run through the market and sell everyone policies and leave that person nothing to do. Well, you're not going to get rich selling like 5 or 6 life insurance policies just to your hot market and then quitting. Am I right? You'd agree? Like, that's not the end. So if that's not the end, but it's actually the beginning, and that's just the like seed being planted and showing all those people what we do, that's where you have to start, right? If you were going to open a restaurant, but none of your potential clients know that you're open or where the address is or what kind of food you serve, are they ever coming to eat? Nope. You're going to be standing in a beautiful restaurant with tons of food sitting in the refrigerator going bad. They're not coming. They're not coming. Guys, and here's the other thing. Look, guys, for all, like, if you've been in the business less than 30 days and you're a new recruit and unlicensed, right? Put it in the Zoom chat. There's 230 of us on right now. I'm gonna go on a limb and say at least 50. I wish there were more than that. Brand new. Good. Zoom user, you should change your name to what your actual name is so we know who you are. Right? Keep going if you've been in longer, but you're still unlicensed and you've still got a bonus potential. Keep going. I want to see this. Okay, good. Unlicensed training. Guys, did you know that if you don't get 1 recruit and 1,000 in annual premium, even if you've got $200 in your bonus credits from last month for doing your app login and doing your pre-licensing in the first 30 days, and your bonus says 200, without 1 recruit and 1,000 in premium, your bonus is actually 0. Because if you go get licensed right now, just like that, and appointed, that 200 is just like a credit. You with me? So you need to get a recruit and you need to get 1,000 in premium, because you would rather have 400 versus 0 when you get appointed, right? If you came in September, you have $100 pre-licensing instead of 150, so it'd be 150 on your bonus right now, as an example. So you would rather have 350 than 0. Yes? Yes. So here's the other thing. For those of you who are like, man, I got the premium, I'm all set. I can't get a friggin' recruit to save my life, right? Check this out. Who out there right now, if I said, this is $200, right? Right? If I said, hey, here you go, man, look, check this out. I got a deal for you. Check it out. I want you to take my walking around money. I want you to take my 200. You can have this. just give me 100. I'll trade you. Who would make that trade? If I said, here's 200, give me your 100. Would you make the trade? I would. You show me how to double my money and hand me cash right now? Great, perfect. So if you've already got the premium and you're missing on a recruit and you've got a buddy or a friend or whatever that's like, man, this would be great. I just got to get going. Guess what? Pay their 99. They'll pay their 25. You get an instant recruit credit. You with me? You just traded 99 for 200. Bump your friggin' bonus. Did I speak to somebody? Hopefully. Yes, maybe. You're literally trading 99 for 200. Make them pay their 25. Don't get stuck on that train of paying somebody's POL 25. Come on, man. Like, guys, it's not my $200. It's Primerica's $200. I'm just hoping you unlock the door to get the $200 and a promotion. If you're 0 recruits by 1,000 in premium, God bless. Trade 99 for 200 and get a promotion out of it. It's probably the best $99 you ever spent. Because for most of you, it's actually like trading 99 for 400 or 350. Come on now. I know I just spoke to somebody. Come on. Come on. Right? So listen, now, you can call it a sponsor program, right? If some of you are licensed and you have people that are out there like that, Andy's talked about it before, yeah, you can sponsor somebody's IBA. I would make sure that they have qualified kitchen tables prior to doing that for them, right? Make them bring you a client first, or just say, hey, look, if you can bring me at least one client and we're able to close prior to, I will then sponsor your IBA. I've been burned too many times going about the other way. I've done it twice and I'm 0 for 2. Really nice people, thought they had something in terms of potential. Not worth it, right? So go set some appointments, guys. Listen, you have to. You truly have to, right? Nicole, I like that, right? Make them the client and then get paid first, and then I'll sponsor your IBA. Much better. See, Nicole friggin' OG, man. She's been around a hot minute, 5-6 years doing this thing. She knows what's up. So listen, you've paid about 7 or 8. John, you friggin' money bags over there. I was not paying like super close attention to the chat that was going by. Wendy, did I miss any actual questions about any of the information I was covering? I want to make this valuable. I want to make sure you guys are getting like the full thing for Sunday Skills. Well, first was the buy term and invest the difference demonstration, was that valuable? Was that good? Did you guys get something out of that? Okay, good. Because that's what we do. Literally. What's up, Wendy?
So no, we're pretty good on the questions, but Madison asked a good one that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering. She's hitting up a lot of people that have heard bad things about Primerica. And it's hard to change their minds. So she'd like some advice on that, please.
Madison, can you put your Zoom hand up, please?
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, I know you're on. Can you
Okay.
just like put your Zoom hand and turn your video on so I can bring you? I just want to be able to like face to face have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Because if you put your Zoom hand up, it will bring you like to the front of the.
Zoom hand up. I'm still trying to figure out Zoom, to be honest.
No, you're good. At the bottom, it says raise hand.
Raise hand. Okay. I don't see it.
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'll talk to myself. It's all good. So please stay unmuted though. And when you're talking to these people, are you physically talking to them or are you texting them?
I am physically talking to them, yes.
Perfect. Right. So that's step 1. So you're physically having a conversation. That's great. What are you asking them? Like if you were going to get me to sit on an appointment, what would you ask me?
I would ask you what you're currently using for your life insurance policy.
Stop.
Okay.
You're putting me off.
Whoever is is that person in your background? Maddie?
Oh.
It's okay. I just want to make sure somebody else wasn't unmuted. So,
No.
okay, can you just ask them to chill a little bit? So you're unlicensed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is it your job to ask them what they're using for their life insurance or their coverage or anything like that right now?
No, I don't think so.
Look at my head, girl.
No. Okay.
No, it is your job to ask for a favor.
Okay.
You with me?
Yes.
Hey, Maddie, we're old friends. Yeah. Play with me real quick. Role play with me.
Yes.
Hey, girl, how you doing? You been good? How's the family? Everybody good?
Everybody's awesome.
Awesome. Hey, listen, I know it's been a minute and you probably saw it on my social media, but I'm getting into a new thing and I'd love to just kind of sit down and show you what we're doing. And if you can use it, great. And if not, it would really help me out. We just need to hop on a Zoom call for like 30 minutes. My trainer's going to run it. I got to make sure I'm getting like my training hours in. Would you help me out and just sit on a Zoom call for like 30 minutes?
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, so when can we get together? Tomorrow or Tuesday?
Tomorrow works.
Perfect. Like you want afternoon or evening? I can't remember. Are you still working? What's going on?
Evening works best.
Awesome. I've got like 7 or 8 for the evening right now. I can just pencil you in. And which one of those do you want? 7 or 8?
Let's do 7.
You got it. All right. So I'll see you at 7. I need to make sure you and your husband are both there or I don't get credit for the training. Can you make sure he's there?
Yes.
Perfect. Listen, so I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7. It'll be a Zoom link. Make sure you download and update that guy. I'll make sure you get the Zoom link ahead of time. If something changes beforehand, right? Call me and we'll get you a new time slot that makes sense, okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Hey, listen, if you're like me, if it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. Am I right?
Right.
Please go put it in your calendar really quick because I would hate for you to miss this and I don't want to like bug you and reschedule everything. Sound good?
Sound good.
Awesome. I'll see you Monday at 7 and I'll make sure you get that Zoom link ahead of time. Appreciate you, girl.
Perfect. So I shouldn't like just automatically say what I'm doing. I should kind of just keep them like, I don't know.
All
Period.
you need from your friend is a favor.
A favor. Okay.
All you need is a favor,
Okay.
right? And then if they say, well, what the heck are you actually doing? Oh, I'm working on some financial licensing, right? Honestly, I'm legitimately like just getting started. Part of this training is like learning more about what I'm doing. So as far as us getting together, when's better, tomorrow or Tuesday? Do you, like as soon as you affirm, answer, close, right? Hey, that's a great question, Bert. And then you're right back into a yes, yes type question. Okay. Now, for the people that you have already talked to now, and you are not doing, let's just say you're not doing anything that most other brand new people don't do that have not been told correctly, right?
Right.
And so go back to the original people. And even if they have heard bad things about Primerica before, great, right? I love it. Like, hey, Maddie, listen, if you've heard bad things about this company before, I mean, I'm literally just getting started. Would you be open to just sitting down and like helping me learn? I want to make sure I'm not in like some sort of like bad situation.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you sit down with me and help me figure that out?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. So when's better for us to knock this out? Tomorrow or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Perfect. Tuesday's great for me too. You want like afternoon or evening, morning? I got whatever you need. What makes sense?
Afternoon works.
Okay. Guys, do you see this? Like as soon as you overcome the objection, you're right back into a yes, yes question. Then you're just taking the funnel all the way down. Right?
Okay.
This is all in Teachable. This is all in the appointment setting bootcamp. It's all in the scripts, right? And honestly, all you have to do is listen to that one appointment setting boot camp from Ian, and you will learn all of this stuff. But if you just listen to it once, do you think you're going to have it down as well as I do?
No, absolutely not.
No, you guys, you need to be putting this stuff on repeat. Like when you're driving around, like you need to just, like your kids need to just get over it, right? They'll figure it out. Like, hey, dad's working, right? If you're not driving around doing IPAs, you're missing it. And I don't mean drinking them, John Height, right? IPAs are income producing activities, right? So you need to be putting things in here that are going to pay you down the road. Especially if you're brand new and you really don't know what the heck is going on right now, you need to be flooding your brain with things that are going to keep your mind right. So mindset type training and everything for the business, appointment setting, like recruiting audio. Guys, everything that we do in the business is for Redline was built on Relentless, which was taught by Ian Pruckner and run by Ian and Jessica. Guys, like everything. And we just supercharged it. Andy and Brittany just put like the Redline magic juice on it and made it go faster. So that's what you should be listening to. And if you're not listening to Ian Pruckner or Andy Onstead or Bill Arender or Art Williams, what are you listening to? Guys, if you're brand new in the business, that's what you should be flooding your brain with. Andy sent me the appointment setting audio and the recruiting audio from Ian. And he said, if you can master these, you'll make $100 grand in your first year in the business, online from home. And I said, okay. And you know what I did for 30 days, driving back and forth to work while I was getting licensed and waiting on the state to give me my actual license so I could go write business? Listening to those constantly. And he was right. Well, sort of. We made like 200 grand in 13 months. So he was right. But that's because he was my coach, right? I'm direct to Andy. Andy recruited me and he said, go do this. You'll make 100 grand. I said, okay. I said, hey, I did that. What's next? Get your license. Get your securities license. Get an RVP contract. Okay. Guys, if your coach is telling you something to do, your RVP is telling you something to do, and you're not doing it, can you expect to have the results that they've had?
No.
No. And if they're telling you something to do and they're giving you a script and you change the script, can you expect to have the results that they've had? No. You wouldn't change your grandma's like insert recipe here, right? Like cookies, cakes, whatever. You would not change that recipe. It's a family recipe. Because if you change it, it's not going to taste like grandma made it. And even when you follow the exact same recipe, sometimes it doesn't taste like grandma made it because she's special, right? But you get close. But not if you leave out ingredients or you change the cooking time or you change the temperature. Don't change a thing. Guys, if you want Andy's results or if you want your VP's results, well, guess what? Your VP copied Andy. Do you see where I'm going with this? Quit changing it. Quit changing it. We tell people all the time, do not call people and ask them if they want to sit down and look at life insurance. Be honest, like put it in the Zoom chat right now. If somebody called you, even if it was your best friend, and they said, hey, Rick, man, we got to sit down and look at this life insurance. It is going to blow your mind. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's so exciting. You're going to be like, yeah, I'm busy until 2050. Guys, nobody wants to talk about life insurance. You would agree. Nobody wants to talk about it, right? So quit asking them if they want to talk about it. That's like saying, hey, how much do you want to spend on your car insurance? Well, God bless, the answer is zero. Nobody wants to spend anything on it, right? Like, and it's the same thing with life insurance. Nobody wants to spend money on life insurance. The only time that you're going to get them to move forward is if you've asked enough questions, you've pushed on the points of pain, right? and they go, damn it, this guy's right. I'm underinsured, or I have the wrong thing, or I'm not investing and I didn't learn X. I didn't, right? Guys, like that's what we do. But if you're asking like, what kind of life insurance do they want? Or if they want to look at it, no, nobody wants to look at it. Guys, young people, especially that don't have any, and you ask them that, they're like, oh man, I can't get life insurance. I get life insurance, I'm gonna die. I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. And be like, well, God bless, Rick. Like, if that happened, you would agree it was probably gonna happen anyway, am I right? Okay, so if we can both agree it's gonna happen anyway, and at some point it's gonna happen regardless, whether you want it to or not, wouldn't you want your family to be protected? I mean, if it's gonna happen anyway, you just said it. I'll wait. But guys, listen, that's really what I wanted to go over tonight. I really wanted to hammer down on the buy term and invest the difference, because I think we're missing that in a lot of scenarios. We're doing a lot of buying term, which is great. You're protecting people. But if you're not protecting them for the liability now between their actual liability and their assets, when the model flips down the road, well, when their savings are supposed to be up here and we've missed 5-10 years of doubling periods and they're down here, you've done them a massive disservice. Guys, I showed a client tonight. I said, listen, have you ever heard of the high cost of waiting? He goes, I don't know. My math teacher showed us a bunch of Dave Ramsey like 6-7 years ago. I said, great. Well, let me show you. Let me show you guys the high cost of waiting. Okay. Because if you've never seen this, then you need to. So the high cost of waiting, guys, is actually really simple. And it just comes back to the rule of 72. And I'm going to cover a lot of this tomorrow at the Wolfpack training. Shameless plug for the Wolfpack in the morning. Tomorrow, I'm running it. It's going to be about investments. If you want to show up, amazing. Links in the Zoom, or the Zoom link is in band, right? So check this out. 24 to 65. My guy said he had probably an extra $250 a month, right? After we did his life insurance. And I said, cool. Can I help you put about 1.3 into a tax-free account? It's called a Roth IRA. He's like, oh yeah, and I love that. Like, I actually wanted to open a Roth IRA. I just didn't know. I know what to do. I didn't know who to talk to, but that's why I'm here, right? And I said, hey, listen, have you ever heard of the high cost of waiting? He's like, maybe 250 is too much. I don't know. I said, check this out. If you did like most people do, and you waited until you were 34, right? Most people kind of figure life out in their early 30s, or they sort of just freak out and they go, oh, I'm behind. I got to get going, right? Put it in the Zoom chat. I'll wait for a second. Put it in the Zoom chat. If you waited 10 years, and if you just waited 10 years, how much do you think that number is going to change, right? That 1.3, how much do you think that's going to drop? Put in there. How much do you think? Just waiting 10 years, right? We're not changing anything else. Yeah, a lot is true. Like, I want to see a number. Somebody give me a number. Half, 25%, 300K. Any other guesses? Half? Okay, half is kind of the running number. And okay, half. If you said half, you're wrong by a lot. Half of 1.3, we would agree, is about 650, yeah? So if he waits just 10 years and we don't change anything else, he loses about 800 grand. Ew. Ew. That's the high cost of waiting. Watch this. So he's still put in 93 grand, right? If he starts at 24, he's only put in an extra 30 grand. So it ain't the 30 grand. We would agree, right? Guys, what he actually lost was doubling periods. He lost compounding, right? Instead of him going from 640 to 1.3, you would agree that's pretty close, right? He went from 320 to about 640. He's a doubling period behind. Watch this. Watch. What was the number? It was 1.29, right? So he starts at 34. At 65, he's got 507. When's he actually going to get back to the 1.29? 10 years later, you got it, right? Boom. Do you think he wants 1.3 at 65 or 75? $65. Sooner, faster, hopefully. That's the high cost of waiting, right? And if somebody says, oh my God, like that's amazing, but I don't have 250 right now. Well, you would have done it with their shoebox money, right? But even if that was his shoebox money, he's like, oh man, that's just too much. Like I say, great, let's just start you with 100. Let's start with half of it. Let's start with 125, because you would agree, you've seen that starting something now is more important than waiting 10 years to get it right. Am I right? So perfect. We're just going to open it. We're going to get going for it. Like, and here's the thing, if you're not investment licensed, that's okay. You can still show people this. You're just teaching about compound interest and time. Then what your job is at that point is to say, listen, I'd love to link you up with Noah McQueen, Suzanne Stacy, Nicole Gilda, Jessica Powers, whoever in your base is securities licensed. I would love to link you up with my investment specialist. They'll take care of this in terms of like getting this started for you, right? I would love to come to the appointment. It's my training as well. I'm working on my investment licenses now. And then go get freaking training and let that person create that securities account. And then when you have your securities license, guys, keep track of that and we'll roll it, transfer it from this agent to that agent, and then you start securities with assets under management. Sound good? So if I could help you get all of your life insurance clients started with Roth IRAs and money market accounts, because we need to save it too. Like we need liquid saving, right? And then when you get your securities license, we just transfer those back to you and you immediately start like day one securities license with assets under management getting earns. That would be something you'd be open to. Am I right? Plus training along the way so that when you have your securities license, you know what to do and how to do it. Come on. Speaking to somebody, I know I am. So guys, listen, that's really it for tonight. We're early. We're 4 minutes early. I will stick around for any other questions, or if I missed anything and there are actual questions, please put them in the Zoom chat.